of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his Spirit that dwelleth in you. Today's verse today is Romans chapter 8, verse 11. Yo, welcome. I didn't see the username though, unfortunately. It bugged out on me. Global resources reset. Loading resources. Okay, so we're going to do a lore drop on the server today. Mob maze? Only heard of that just now. Hello, RBKG. You are first today. That is actually surprising. Usually it's Demanding Tim. He's usually the first one to show up. It's taking a while to load. Taking its sweet time. Enchanted book. Check who all's on the realm right now. Okay, it's just me. I don't need the treasures. I need the backup inventory. Alright, here we go. Okay. Okay, here's this. Alright, so we're trying to get protection onto this. I have the protection book, but I do not have the EXP. Okay, so I first joined this realm when it was just a multiplayer world, but we played on it so often that the owner just decided to buy a realm for it. Oh, I am low. How much did it cost? I don't know. I didn't ask. But after that, I need one more space and right. Hang on. Joystick and tap to interact. Anyways, I first joined this realm 2 weeks ago. From the before it was a realm, it was a world, and I had built a Viking base. When it turned into a realm, it went from me and the realm owner to the realm owner's husband, which happens to be my brother, which is how I know the realm owner. She's basically my in-law. But we were playing Minecraft on a world, but well, really, they have a kid, and they were passing the controller back and forth and playing with me. Her and my brother were passing the controller around while keeping an eye on the kid. And my brother suggested we make a Viking base. So while they were offline by being AFK at the time, I built a entire. First, I had a bell, and I built a little bell that you would ring. The plan was that it would make so much noise it would get their attention because their TV would start ringing because they left their TV on and left it AFK so that I could build in the meantime. And well, what happened was I had finished it after I believe it was 3 hours of tree chopping. Then I began building, which took another hour. I spent 4 hours in all, and then an extra hour fleshing out the details. Then more work was put into it that probably amounted to 30 minutes. In all, I spent roughly 5 hours on this Viking base. It was basically a wall that opened up into a port, and it had a bridge. If I can find a this is for achievements. Yeah. Oh wow, I spent -1 hours playing. That's interesting. Anyways, let me check through my screenshots. Okay, so it crashed when I went to open up Realm Stories, so we won't be doing that again. But what I was saying was it crashed. I was saying it crashed because I opened Realm Stories. We won't be opening Realm Stories again. But what I was saying before it crashed was I had spent so long and it looked nice, right? Then after that, for a few days, it was like their main base. Slowly, people started moving out, and I stayed behind because I was still working on it. Finally got it finished. Log in the next day. I had mending, and as a joke, I killed off the mending villager after I was done with it. So my brother decides to burn down, I believe it's the eastern wall. Yeah, he burns down the eastern wall of the Viking fortresses. He burns down the eastern wall. Hello, Demanding Tim. But he burns down that part of the wall. This sparks my villain arc. I immediately max out my netherite set, get a wither skeleton skull so that I can move around without the player locator bar showing people where I am, so I don't have to crouch all the time. Now pretty much everyone has a wither, but for the longest time I could see everyone and no one could see me. I could pop up at the base without any preamble, and I could just ambush. I could just ambush my brother, and I told him that no matter where you build your base, I will find it, and I will find you. You will never escape me. There were several times I jumped him in between, and he burned it again once when I jumped him. And then eventually, recently, he moved 2,000 plus blocks away. So I move around, I fly around my Elytra in circles around from spawn. And I immediately cross off of my list anywhere that has new chunks that start to load in. Eventually, I find a trail going straight out in one direction. And along the way is 2 looted desert temples and a pillager outpost. And the reason that's relevant is because in Realms, you get notifications when people kill a pillager captain. My brother, A1 Anarchy, had killed a pillager captain and it told me that. So I knew I was near his base. I found a village, and my spawn point is in a catacombs that is underneath his base. Yeah. I'm not there right now, but I will be going back there later after I get full proc, which I only need the boots now. For 38 levels, I can add proc, but I have proc 4, Unbreaking 3, and Mending on everything. And Feather Falling 4 on the boots. So max Feather Falling. So yeah, I have max gear. I don't do thorns. I could add Swift Sneak to the leggings or whatever, but I'm not going to. It could be useful later, but I also use mace. Mace PvP. Problem with that is I can't wear my netherite while doing that. So I went ahead and got protection 4 and unbreaking armor. As you can see, I have mending, and no unbreaking. And then I have protection, unbreaking, and curse of vanishing on this. And this allows me to use wind charges for the mace. Yo, I have a joke. Okay, let's hear it. K2620. But in a minute, I will show you what the base looks like now, because my younger brother, his name in-game is Lil Peep Fan, decided that since it was already in ruins, that he would finish destroying it and harvest it for materials. What do you call cheese that isn't yours? Nacho cheese? Yeah, that's an old one. Anyways, what I was saying was one of the conditions. I had declared a griefing war, which is why I said I will always find you, and I, in fact, held to my word. The only way to prevent that was if he restored the base to the state it was in before he burned it, which is a completed state. 75 oak trees of varying sizes were cut down. An entire forest was cut down to make that base. Yeah, you can't tell now because it is an absolute ruin, but it was in fact that good. It was a really good base. But he had burned it down, and I said if you rebuild it in 2 days, and yesterday was the last day of grace period that I'd given him. In that time, however, Lil Peep Fan, my younger brother, as aforementioned, had harvested it for materials and finished destroying it. We no longer know the parameters, so it is not even possible for him to start rebuilding it. So, I set our differences aside, and we kidnapped Lil Peep Fan's horse. It's called Princess. Now, that's where this name tag becomes very important. I am going to tame a donkey, name it Princess, and then smash it with my mace while he's online. Then we will, in the future, use his actual horse as a bargaining chip. But the whole time, he will spend believing that his horse is dead. And to prove it to him, we're going to take the armor off of Princess and return it to him after the death message. So he's gonna spend the whole time thinking that it's dead, when it's not. The horse is gonna be a bargaining chip later. But yeah, that's pretty much y'all up to speed. That's pretty much getting y'all up to speed. We defeated the Ender Dragon, and I also monopolized all the Elytra and Dragon heads for 5,000 blocks in the end. So there's that too. You have to time it just right. I say before completely missing the timing. What else happened? I made a few cells with A1 Anarchy. Since I monopolized all the Elytra, I had to be professional and civil during business transactions, of course. Timed that perfectly. How to join you in the world? No, I'm in a realm, and it's a private realm, unfortunately. But that's the lore drop up to this point. The ransom for the horse. Yes, we set a ransom. Is, He now has to help us collect the materials and rebuild the base. If he doesn't, the horse will die. He's already denied doing it, and if he does it again today, we're going to kill off the donkey with the name tag and make him think that that's the end of it. But we're going to have... Ooh, I fell just short. Oh, no I didn't. So I just duped one... I just duped an extra one without a reason. Alright, get the assorted bundles. Here we go. This is actually the first ever obtained diamond, the first ever obtained heavy core, and this is the same bell that was used at the base. Those were the first obtained of those items. First obtained in this server, that is. I think that's all we need there. Right. Right. There we go with that. Treasures. You have been in creative mode, right? You just missed it right as I was dismantling it. No. This was all done in survival. Without cheating. However, exploits were used. I didn't use any cheats. I did not go in creative. I did not use commands. I did not use X-ray. I did not use clients. Instead, I used a duplication I utilized glitches and I exploited glitches that duplicate items, commonly known as dupe glitches. However, the enchanted golden apples weren't all entirely duped. I did have 24, and then I duped those. Wrong way. Where's the exit? Found it. Please don't. Of course. Good time to stock up on Could've sworn I just heard a creeper taking damage. Yo, low-key, what's poppin'? Nice. Okay, now that I have my bearings, I'm going to show you what remains of the aforementioned fort. First, this is the mob spawner. And this is all that remains of the fort that you saw just several streams ago. Actually, they're archived, and I'm probably going to make them only available to channel members, but for those of you that were here in the last few streams, you know what it looked like. This is all that remains. The wall went all the way around here, and stopped directly here in the water. There's actually... or there was... pillars. There were pillars. Here's where one was. That's where another one. If you go around here, you can see that someone mined up all the things, and there's one pillar intact. I'm pretty sure there were two here. There's my anvil. Huh. Assorted bundles. There it is. And that completes my protection for unbreaking and mending set. The boots have feather falling, and I'm going to be an absolute tank in this. I need more ender pearls, but I'll be fine for now. I still need breach. Still need breach for chaos. I low-key don't need these in a PvP chest. Although what I do need is wind charges. Okay, I definitely need more. Oh yeah, definitely. There it is. The unreasonably powerful sword. Right, that's what was missing. Apollo. This is Havoc, this is Chaos, that's Artemis, this is Ares, that's Apollo. I need... Supposed to have a channeling and a loyalty trident. Come on in for round 2. Nice. No phantom membrane. Yo, that was actually cinematic. Hello, wandering trader. Come here. Come back. Yes. Thanks. Time to check on the horse. That explains the lag. Ooh, my, how the turntables have turned. Those are slow falling potions. Wow! They're hand delivering themselves. You know, I really don't mind if I do. It's a free kill. That's right, just let another one fall on down. I'll sit and fish in the meantime. Because I need puffer fish. Oh, I thought it just dropped a puffer fish. I was about to say, dang. Why do I set my live streams till 1 a.m.? I'm glad you noticed. That's because that's when most of my viewers are online. Is that a bowl? And rotten flesh, okay. Why didn't he get caught in the boat? Did he despawn? Dang. Snatched. Hmm? Thank you. Now where's that zombie jock? That drowned jockey I just saw? Oh, I swam away and I left and it despawned. Dang. Thought jockeys didn't despawn. On the other hand, I low-key... I think I got it. I think I just got it first try. Yep. I got it first try. I just gotta wait for another one to spawn in holding one. Oh, does that guy have it? No, he doesn't. But the other guy does. Oh, yeah, it's because it has looting. I think I just got both of the tridents I needed. I did! Excellent. That's all I'll be needing. Channeling loyalty. I need Riptide. I could get Riptide from a villager. But first, let's check on the package. Package secured. Oh, yeah, they're part of the ransom now. Once the ransom is paid, they'll be nicely hand-delivered. Alright, here is the plan. This is, first of all, this is the most obvious. This is most obviously got something underneath it. which is why you shave a bit off the sides. And do a bit of terraforming. And it looks almost natural. Oh, this is the, it's the ransom. Alright. Got the coordinates saved. Deuces. Now the best part. If I did it right, I should... That's not where I'm supposed to respond, dog. It's supposed to respawn in here.
Respawn point set. You can only sleep at night and during thunderstorms. Bed is too far away. Respawn point set. You can only sleep at night and during thunderstorms. Respawn point set. You can only sleep at night and during thunderstorms. Respawn point set. You can only sleep at night and during thunderstorms.
Okay, everything that I don't need. Leave it to despawn. Now, I need Riptide. Hello, villagers. Good to see you. Listen, have I got a treat for you today? Alright. Projectile protection. How do you still have projectile proc? There are 2 villagers in here with mending. That simply won't do. I had to figure out what the other job block is. Okay, how does he have two villagers that are... Alright, you. Efficiency. Man, you got one high price. But alright. Alright. Mending. Channeling. Not gonna lie, sneezing villagers are so cursed. I guess. How much for this? Also 12. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12. Channeling. No way, channeling's gonna cost more. No, not channeling. Riptide's gonna cost more. Of course. Man. This is a bit harder than it usually is. Wow. Mending and Riptide. Mending and Channeling. Bruh. Nice. Now renaming. It costs 32 to rename an item. Really? Renaming is supposed to always just cost 1 level. Oh my gosh. Now I remember why I took so long to rename my maces. Good grief. I burned through those really quick. So what is this, 3 stacks? Three stacks isn't too enough, so in order to rename each trident, I need 3.5 stacks. I have just enough. Why am I lagging? Right, so this is Zeus. SRSG. Zeus. Zeus. There we go. There we go. Chaos and Havoc. Zeus. And Poseidon. Right, excess stock. That's not where it is. It's in the miscellaneous. There we go. Is there low-key enough room here? I know we still need the wind charges. But until then, it should be fine. Scary cat site, please don't spam. Get out of that. Hello. What is this game? It's called Minecraft. This is low-key so satisfying. Poseidon. Chaos and Havoc and Zeus and Poseidon. Let's just rename this cost. 16. I low-key can stomach that cost. SRS. Yeah, I spelled it right. We got Poseidon, Zeus, Apollo, Chaos, and Havoc. This is going to be Void Slayer. This is going to be Artemis. This is going to be Ares. Oh, yeah, Ares. This is Ares. Artemis was always supposed to be the crossbow, but Artemis carries a bow. Goddess of the hunt. Crossbow is more of a war weapon. The axe would be more Ares style. I guess I'll name them both Artemis because they're both used in a hunt. This will be Ares. That's Void Slayer. The Netherite pickaxe is going to have a name. But basically, I'm gonna... I've enslaved the Pantheon. Or the Pantheon. However you pronounce that. There we go. Good motions. Inventory 2. What the? Then what's this? Go! So what I thought was my coordinate book this whole time. Where did this even come from? And who misspells read? Man. How'd they get into my Egypt? Was someone going through the server files? That's the only thing I can think of. Invisibility 8 minutes. I need to brew that into a splash potion. Later, though. Regardless. A book and quill is a book and quill. Actually, I'm going to leave that because I want to figure out how they did that. It might have been based on the slot position. There's that. And that. And there's Invis. And that's my inventory sorted. That's it for now, everybody. GG.